All right, so in this episode, very exciting. What we're going to do, we're going to build a payment form on your website. And this is for any business that you want to take payment online. So let's say you have a normal business, a service business, and you issue invoice to your customers, but you don't really have like a method of payment online because these days it's so easy to pay online, right? So you want them to pay online with a credit card. So I want to show you in this video how you can do this. Okay, first step. So what do you need to have for this to work? You need a WordPress website. You do need the Gravity Form plugin, which is the one with $159 per year. If you're with us with Graphem, you will get a license as part of your subscription as a customer. And you need to have a Stripe. So stripe.com, a Stripe account. This is super easy to set up. So you just sign up, you link your bank account, and you're good to go. The payment structure is 2.9% per transaction, but it's pretty standard across any credit card processing, essentially. All right, so let's get started. So from our backend of WordPress, what we're going to do, we're going to go, I assume Gravity Form is installed. You want to make sure you have the Stripe add-ons installed. So if you don't have it installed, it usually show up at first here. You click install and activate. When this is done, you want to go to settings and then Stripe, and you want to make sure you connect. I already connected, so you will connect with Stripe. You will follow this instruction for the webhook, super detailed instruction. So follow this, and then you will have to enter the secret for the webhook. So the webhook, what it does, it sends back a request to your website to tell, Gravity Form that this payment has been made, essentially, so it can know if it's been made or not. Now, payment collection, two things you can do. So you can use the on-form credit card, so it shows up at a little widget as a credit card where you can enter, or you can use Stripe payment form, so it will send to a Stripe hosted page. Now, I do recommend the first one because you can really customize the experience for the customer. And I think it's great, honestly. So let's check it out. So what we're going to do, we're going to create our first form. And I assume we're going to do a form where someone can enter like invoice ID and invoice amount. So let's say you issue them an invoice by email or they receive it by mail. They want to pay online. That's what we're going to do. This is a scenario, essentially. So we're going to create a new form. I'm going to start from scratch here. They do offer some templates, but we're going to start from scratch. Pay an invoice. Not going to put any description. Now I'm going to add a couple fields. So I'm going to go into advanced field. I'm going to add the name. So I want the name of the person. I do want their email. I want to make this also mandatory. So I'll make that required here. So required. So on the side here, you have all your settings for your field. Okay, so now we need to add a field for the invoice number. So a single line of text. So I'll call it invoice number. So that's what the customer would enter. They receive an invoice number, they put that in. So the next thing we're going to do is a pricing field that comes with the Stripe plugin. And we're going to call it, we're going to use product. So we're going to drag this in. However, we're going to change this instead of single product. So it's not a single product we're selling here. It's more kind of an invite, an invoice a user is paying. So it's going to be user defined. Okay. We're going to make this required. We're going to make this required. And now price, we're going to change that to invoice amount. So that's what they're going to get on their invoice, essentially. So they're going to enter the invoice amount. Now, the last field I want to add is actually Stripe. So you need to add this. And this will be kind of the credit card section where they enter their credit card, okay? So once you've done that, you're going to click Save. And next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to Settings and then Stripe. You need to do a connection with Stripe, okay? So we're going to go in the Stripe feed here. We're going to create a new one. You can leave it as Stripe feed 1. You can rename it if you want. And the transaction type is going to be product and services. So it's not a subscription. You can do subscription, but we're not going to do that today. So the payment amount is going to be the form total, not the invoice amount, because let's say if you add some fees you want to, so it's always best to do the form total. Now, if you were to ask the customer all their address information, you can map it here. And this means it's going to be mapped in Stripe, so you're going to be able to see that in Stripe. I do recommend that if you want to do it, but you can keep it super simple, email, name, etc. All right, so now we're going to select the email, it's fine. The name, we're going to do full name here. And then one thing I want to do here in the metadata, I want to do invoice underscore number. So this means we're going to send the invoice number to Stripe. Okay. So Stripe receipt. So here's the interesting part. So you can send automatically an email from Stripe. So Stripe will send them a receipt, or you can say do not send receipt and handle it yourself with Gravity Form. Okay, so let's save this. Perfect. So now we're going to create a page, and in WordPress, I'm going to call it pay an invoice. And I'm just going to drop in here the form. Okay, I could be more fancy or everything, but I'm just going to drop it there. I'm not going to do any styling in this. And we're going to select pay an invoice, and I'm going to enable Ajax. So I mean, it's going to not reload the page to submit. So we got to publish this. And let's check our page. All right, this is how it looks like. So it's kind of cool. So name, email, invoice number, invoice amount, and see the credit card right there. Super exciting. And if the user is logged in as a like a Google user, they'll have the possibility to pay with also Google Pay and Apple Pay. So this isn't usually enabled with Stripe. Okay, so now what you can do is just do a test payment, because I'm set up as a test environment right now with Stripe, so I'm not live. So I'm gonna go test credit card number, so I can grab some test credit card numbers. So let's grab the first one here. We're gonna go to our form. So I'm gonna just fill out my information. I'm gonna put like I don't know, test@test.com, and I'm gonna 01 like this, and an invoice amount of $100, and then I'm gonna put this Canada, my country, sure, and then I'll put a random code 182, and then I'm gonna put 02, whatever. That's in test mode, so you can do whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is just submit, and we'll see how it goes. So it takes sometimes to submit, sometimes with Stripe, because it does a lot of verification, but it went through really well. So now let's check on our backend of WooCommerce. So WordPress. So we're gonna go to entries, and we can see an entry here of $100. Let's check it out. So we can say $100 total, and then you see the transaction ID. So it means it went through Stripe. So we can go and check in Stripe into payment, and we can see this payment right now. Here we go. So that's my customer, the fee from Stripe, the net amount, and also we're gonna get our invoice number in the metadata right now. Isn't this fantastic? Super easy. In less than 5 minutes, we've set up like a payment page on our website for customer to pay their invoices. All right. So one last thing I want to show you is you can actually refund the payment from here. So from actually the WordPress website, you don't have to go into Stripe to do this. So I can click refund, and it's going to request, and here we go. It's been refunded. Awesome. Now, another thing, promise, it's the last thing here. So notification. So essentially you can send your customer a notification with the payment amount, transaction ID, everything. So you can create one right there. You can also do an admin one. So that's the admin one. So that's the one you're going to receive as an admin when someone pay an invoice. And then you can also customize the confirmation. So what that means is whenever they're done paying, it's going to show a message. Thank us for contacting us. It doesn't make sense. So thanks for your payment. We will send an email receipt, something like this. And that's how you customize it. So that's how you set up a very quick, easy form on your website to take payments. All right. Thank you.